Hi there, I'm going to take you again through just some editing, show you a couple tips or tricks that you can use to kind of speed things up. So I'm going to fix this image. I love her face in this, I think it's so cute. So I'm going to go into my raw editor. It's going to load my editor workspace because it was not already loaded. Alright, so sometimes I've shown this in another screencast, but I will adjust the temperature a little bit here. There are some white balance, like automatic things that you can do up here, but usually I just will drop the temperature a bit. I don't actually usually mess with exposure. If the image is too dark, I have another way that I can show you that you can brighten the image. I think that works better and keeps the integrity a little bit better. I do take the contrast out quite considerably. That might be a little much, but about half. And then I'll bump up the clarity usually to about 25, and then open my image. So one of the first things that I'll do, excuse my yawn, is duplicate the layer. And if, let's say this image was too dark, I would actually do a screen, and you can adjust it from there. I don't really find this image to be too dark overall. It looks probably just fine. But that is a really kind of a nice way of getting things lighter if you need them to be. Or let's say that I wanted to do better of getting some people in the background a little bit lighter. Then I could use this in order to do that. But I'm not actually going to do that. The other thing though that you can do is use the soft light layer, and notice how that just makes everything pop. So it does a really good job of adding the contrast in kind of automatically for you, and also popping some of the colors, which if you have a good white balance, that'll happen anyway. So I really like that a lot. It's one of my favorite things to do. Another kind of cool thing is that you can actually duplicate this layer again, and look, you have even more contrast. Now you probably don't really need that much, but if you felt like that you did, or if you had, the right image or something, that looks pretty good. So without, with, and then there's just that little added extra, which I may or may not keep. So let's just say I'm going to keep that. It's great. Merge those. The only thing is that you do, especially with, the girls wearing pink and everything like that, we get a little bit of the red. So I like to use the redness relief. You've seen me use it before. Another thing that you could use is if you duplicate the layer and go to your hue saturation, go to your reds, and just really desaturate the reds. And then paint it back. You notice a big difference. My computer will catch up. And so what you can do then is just use a paintbrush, and you can kind of, really you want to avoid the lips and the eyes and stuff, but I'm just going to do this really quick just to kind of show you. So right there, I'm going to get rid of quite a bit of those reds. You don't want to get rid of too much because you do want everybody to look natural, but you do want to get rid of the really, when it's really bad, you want to get rid of that. So if you just kind of look at faces, here's with the layer on, off, you can really see it in our young man in the front and dad back here in the back because they have that natural. You don't want to remove too much. You kind of want to be careful of that because then people, like I said, they don't look natural. Things look a little weird. So I'm going to give this sweet little baby back some of hers. She's looking a little strange, I think. So normally, you want to avoid the mouth and the eyes, so what you can do is just paint it back. And look at those cute little lips pop. Beautiful. Beautiful, lovely. So, there you go. Get the red out of the faces. You have that hue saturation. We just desaturated a little bit. But that's a pretty good start. Just, using that layer. The soft layer, that's great. Something else that you can do sometimes is use that hard light layer, and that kind of really just gives you that different contrast. It also really makes the colors pop. You obviously would not use it at 100%, but even if you used it at 50 or give or take. So I thought this image was great, and then wow, look at that. So there's all kinds of fun stuff that you can do with layers if you're not familiar with them. The basic ones that I recommend that are that multiply will darken, which sometimes comes in handy too, especially if you'd like to create a quick vignette. So you do that, you come over here to your marquee tool, make sure that you're at somewhere around 200 on your feathering up here, and then do your marquee, Control X, cut. I usually don't use it at a full, 100% because it looks kind of fake. But, down at, let's say 67%, and that can really kind of bring your focal point in on your image. So that's one really good thing to remember. Then, you could also, like I showed you, use it to screen, which is to lighten. The soft light, the hard light, the vivid light, those are important. So just take advantage of layers. They are your friend. And I hope that helped in some way, shape, or form.